Okay, so Styx has gone from promoting election conspiracy theories that by proxy helped incite the Capitol riot to trying to distance himself from that because he probably doesn't want to be banned from all platforms. And now he has a video titled, "Whatever happens January 20th, it'll suck bad." So I'm guessing he's going to equivocate, well, like, yeah, a bunch of right-wing idiots might try an armed insurrection against the government, but also Biden might actually get sworn in, which is equally as bad as democracy getting overthrown by terrorists. So let's see how this goes.
Alright everyone, I should probably put this out here before January 20th actually rolls around, which is to say that regardless of what happens that day, it's gonna suck bad, so just prepare yourself for what happens in a little over a week. By the way, that's my birthday. On my birthday, I might get to see my republic torn apart and fucking gutted by tech tyrants. I might see it torn apart by rioting. I might see political...
Guys, did you know that a nation is literally torn apart by being banned on Twitter? People being banned from Twitter is absolutely tantamount to democracy being destroyed by white nationalist fascists. Same exact thing.
Intrigue that goes well into the realm of the violent and the depraved. I'm not sure exactly what to tell you I believe will happen on January 20th. There are half a dozen different fucking rumblings I'm seeing online across both the Twitter sphere, which I don't use Twitter actively, but I can still read what people post.
I see Styx post on Twitter all the time, unless he completely stopped in the last 2 days, and he may have after the Donald Trump thing, but I see him posting really pathetic tweets regularly. Sometimes I retweet them and say, like, this is fucking pathetic. Like, there was a time after the election where he was literally going around to everyone who said Biden won, and by the way, I don't know if you know this, but Biden won the election, both in popular vote and electoral count. Fun fact. Anyway, on any post that he saw that was like, oh, Biden won the election, he'd post, like, a picture of that thing that Twitter puts on unverified things, and it was like, he would be putting on, like, oh, Biden won. He'd be like, this claim is not verified. Pathetic shit like that. Fun stuff.
Across alt tech.
He nuked all his tweets. Gee, I wonder why.
I'm seeing, for instance, the possibility of significant militia activity on that day.
PragerU has lost 49,000 followers on Twitter. I found this hilarious. The past couple days when tons of right-wing Twitter users have been like, oh, I've lost such and such many followers. And do they understand that they're admitting that their follower base was made of, like, a bunch of terrorists, people who call to violence, and bots and shit? Like, they're admitting that their followers were terrible. Fun fact, over the last week or so, over the last month, my Twitter followers have gone up. So, turns out, I have cultivated a not shitty audience. Fun fact. Good job, everyone. We did it.
I don't even know if Joe Biden intends to show up on a podium. Technically, he should be forced to. He has to swear in on the Jefferson Bible or whatever. He'd probably be...
Sure, he does. They don't have to necessarily do that outside, though. Nothing says they have to do that outside. They have to swear him in.
He'd be sworn in on Mein Kampf at this point, but...
The irony. It's so thick, I can cut it with a knife. Joe Biden is the fascist. However, Styx helped incite literal fascists who killed cops breaking into the federal Capitol building. All they do is project.
We'll leave that alone. I don't know what to expect. Militias may try to...
Hey, remember how Trump used to have Mein Kampf next to his bed on his nightstand? Great.
Blockade the White House, which would be even more brazen and audacious than invading the U.S. Capitol building. After being ushered in, of course. It'd probably be allowed to happen, because then the Democrats, who apparently are at least optioning legislation to ban MAGA rallies as domestic terrorism, which is unconstitutional and won't happen.
I'm pretty sure... Hold on, I missed what he said anyway, because I was thinking about something. I've been to both the Capitol building and the White House. The Capitol building, I was shocked how inept they were, but the White House has snipers on the roof, like, all the time. I don't think it would be a good idea for people to try and storm the White House.
Brazen and audacious than invading the U.S. Capitol building, after being ushered in, of course. It'd probably be allowed to happen, because then the Democrats, who apparently are at least optioning legislation to ban MAGA rallies as domestic terrorism, which is unconstitutional and won't happen. Just so you're aware, there's a reason why only a couple of very, very far-right news sites are reporting on that. That one wouldn't fly. I think even most Democrats at the end of the day would reject such a thing. That's the far left talking. That's like the Elon Omars and the morons of the fucking party. It's a Karen element of the Democrats. You're seeing possible militia movement. You're certainly seeing the possibility of massive pro-Trump rallies. You're not really seeing pro-Biden rallies form because nobody likes Joe Biden. You see, when...
Also, Joe Biden isn't a creepy fascist who requires constant adulation from his follower base, so that helps.
When, nobody actually supports you, when your entire illusion of popularity is a complete facade.
It's not a facade. I mean, people don't like Joe Biden. I don't like Joe Biden. But again, I think you're confusing people liking Joe Biden for people hating Trump. People hate Donald Trump. It's why he lost the election, right? There's a ton of people that love Donald Trump, but more people hate him, which is why he lost.
And even your
He didn't even win the popular vote in 2016, for fuck's sake. This shouldn't be a shock to you people.
backers have to say, well, he won because of an anti-Trump vote, not because anyone actually supports the bastard.
Some people, I'm sure, support Biden. There are a lot of boomers. There are a lot of liberals. I'm sure there are people who like Joe Biden, especially because of his association to Barack Obama. I'm not one of those people, but I'm sure they exist.
It's pretty evident. You're seeing people who think it's the fucking end of the world. It's like end times preachers and shit are talking about this stuff.
Well, yeah, the Capitol building was sieged for the first time since, I think, 1814. It's gonna freak people out.
I don't know what's going to happen. If any clankers intend to show up on January 20th, again, be very, very careful. Listen to what I'm saying to you right now. Listen close.
I think that would go quite badly for them, because DC was potentially intentionally underprepared for what happened on the 6th. However, the police that they ended up bringing in from surrounding areas and the National Guard are still there, and they're going to be there through the 20th at least. If anyone tries to start some dumb shit like that on the 20th, I think it would go very badly for them. And I do not recommend they do it! Shocking, I know. I'm not going to condone a fascist coup. What a shock. But yeah, that would go badly for them. Don't do that.
The people telling you to throw rocks aren't picking up bricks from the ground. Please notice this fact. Please listen to me. Don't get yourself thrown in a federal prison thinking that you're a revolutionary.
Oh, good. At least Styx is like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't get me wrong. He definitely, along with a bunch of other chuds on YouTube who are pushing that fraud narrative, the bullshit conspiracy fraud narrative, absolutely have culpability in what happened on the 6th. But at least he has the foresight to recognize that he needs to calm tensions among people in his own audience, because if he doesn't, then he's going to get banned from YouTube for stoking this sort of bullshit. So I'm glad he's at least saying, like, don't do it. Don't do it.
If something like that happens, if there's some sort of massive overthrow, some insanity happens, I don't know what to tell you, but generally speaking, the people that are telling you to burn a cop car are handing you a Molotov that they themselves did not create, and they're wearing a mask at a time, and it's very telling. Be careful of these people. Also be careful of people telling you to be complacent and demoralized and say and do nothing. Oh, well, we can speak out, but they've already won. We'll never have a fair election again. Yeah, they're gonna destroy all of alt tech.
You've been saying that. What?
Let's just be serfs. Let's be fucking slaves and lick the hand of our masters while we get kicked in the face. Yeah, no thanks. You can go ahead and bootlick if you want to. I'm not gonna join you in that stupid party.
The irony.
But regardless of what happens, I expect it to be a sour...
The only boots Styx will lick are the boots of Donald Trump and other fascists, okay? We will not lick the boots of democratically elected leaders. I don't think you should lick any boots, but it's just weird to me that you're selective about what boots you're gonna lick if you're gonna lick them.
This is the start of a dark winter. Beijing Biden's self-fulfilling prophecy of a really, really bad year. The economy's tanking right now. Everyone is socially alienated. Half the population wants fascism. The other half is convinced it's the end times and is beginning to build, I guess, pipe bombs and shit. Yeah, no shit, there's going to be a dark winter, Beijing Biden. Once you sell us out to China, I'm sure that it'll get darker, too.
Again, he's doing it again. He's inherently sort of stoking people up for more violence by claiming that milquetoast centrist Joe Biden is a secret, like, communist Chinese plant that is going to sell America out to a dictatorship. Come on, Styx.
Basically, we've got this. Here's the situation as it is. A handful of billionaires have staged a coup. At the moment, it's successful.
Okay, hold on.
A handful. We've got this. Here's the
report. Let's see. Dun 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 dun. Spam or misleading. Where do they have stuff about? We'll do that. Okay. Claiming Biden's presidential win is a coup by billionaires. I'm good speller. Genius.
Here's the situation as it is. A handful of billionaires have staged a coup. At the moment, it's successful. They've managed to assert dominance over the U.S. political system in the most brazen attack on liberty that we've seen since the 1700s.
You're not allowed to do this, by the way. YouTube has policies that if you promote conspiracy theories about the election, you get banned. So let's see how this goes.
This is the most brazen attack on...
Here's the link. It was, you know, it was sometime after the 4 minutes or right around the 4-minute mark if you want to, you know, do something.
Liberty we've seen in the United States history. That's number one. Number two, of the many, many tens of millions of people who reject their attempt, some of them are becoming violent. That is true. It's not some sort of false flag. Yes, believe it or not, there are people that when you abuse them for 4 years, they start fomenting things that are illegal. I can't even necessarily blame them, but I can't stand with, you know, the fucking assassination. And
again, kind of tacitly being like, I understand, but for legal reasons, I can't condone. Yikes.
Shit like that, I can't support it. That being said, what the fuck's gonna happen on the 20th? If you get 100,000 MAGA ralliers showing up in the Capitol, I mean, there's not gonna be any Beijing Biden fans there. They can do, basically, they'll do whatever they want. They're too numerous to stop. A couple thousand people breached the Capitol despite heavily armed security forces on a day when they probably had to be doubled up. There were security fences and stuff there. It wasn't just the guards inside. There were Capitol Police. They were numbering in the hundreds.
Not enough.
They did basically nothing. They fled through the fucking building and let the mob storm in. Storm the building. More like they were invited. They were ushered in for a photo op, but if 2,000 people can overrun...
Ushered in... Have you seen, guys, the fucking footage of them beating the shit out of the cops to get in?
The Capitol. During a joint meeting of Congress, while literally every important congressperson is there, what the fuck do you think they can do when Beijing Biden doesn't even show up and there's really no need for added security outside the White House? While these people might be crazy enough to start something, get mowed down by the U.S. Marines that are on the roof, and then all hell breaks loose. I don't, by the way, some people think that it's going to be a good time. I noticed that they're not RSVPing to show up in D.C. that day. Yes, I want...
People really shouldn't be going anyway. COVID restrictions, guys. You're all going to get people even sicker.
My republic to stand, and I want it to be free. Do I want thousands of people to be slaughtered? No. And I think you're a lunatic if you do, regardless of who those people happen to be. And I disavow all political violence for that reason. But it's going to suck. Because you think of it this way. You get two choices. Number one, Beijing Biden becomes the Manchurian asterisk president, sells us out to China on shitty trade deals, crushes liberty as much as he can, and he has Congress, the will of Congress to do this for the most part. Destroys our currency and ushers in a 4-year Dempression Which, I mean, they'll be punished heavily for it, but will have to suffer for several years.
The depression that's probably going to happen, or at least the recession that's going to happen, is a result of Donald Trump's inaction on COVID-19, which has led to increasing deaths. What are we up to today? It's ridiculous. U.S. COVID deaths. And has resulted in tons of businesses having to stay closed, and even those that haven't been closed have seen their business go way down because people are concerned about the virus. We're almost at 400,000 deaths, and it hasn't even been a year yet. Styx, this is Donald Trump's fault. The economy is crashing, and it's going to be bad. And that is at the feet of Donald Trump, the person that you support. How fucking dare you call it a Dempression? This is on Republicans, 150,000%.
That's possibly the better scenario, because the alternative is that political hell breaks loose and you end up with something approximating a civil war, and potentially millions of people die. What if the wrong person gets the nuclear football, so to speak? You'd see Armageddon.
The wrong person currently has the nuclear football, and it's Donald Trump. Remember when he wanted to nuke a hurricane because he doesn't understand how anything works? I remember.
But maybe the end timers are actually correct. Maybe they're actually right. Maybe we're about to get nuked. I'm in Amsterdam. I know that I'm a goner. There's no...
This is why I find it pathetic, by the way, that Styx spends all his time talking about American politics and how he thinks the country should run, when he doesn't even live here, and hasn't lived here for quite a while. He lives in Amsterdam!
Between me and the blast. I guess I can jump in the canal. That way I get flash boiled instead of the skin melting off of my bones. Wonderful. Yeah. Can you not start a nuclear war while I'm in a large urban center, please? It would be nice to be ghoulified instead. If I was a couple miles further, if I was in Wisp, I guess I'd survive. I'd just be hideously irradiated freak for the rest of my short life. I don't think you actually gain quasi-immortality when you get ghoulified. Sadly enough. I too wish I could shoot radiation out of my hands. That would be wonderful, but that's not reality. January 20th, my birthday's gonna suck. My 33rd birthday. Yeah, grab a cake. Might be the last one you ever get to eat. That's about all.
Jesus Christ. Styx has been black-pilled. Grab a cake. It'll be the last one you'll ever eat. Wow, maybe calm down, Styx. Jeez. Anyway, so that's Styx being dumb as usual. And just dooming, absolutely dooming over milquetoast, center-of-the-road, pseudo-Republican Joseph Biden. Very strange. Anyway, let's get to some of these bit messages and we'll move on.